More on the impact of Title 42 ending and national security. We turn to former Defense Secretary Mark Esper. I know that Governor Abbott gets into this conversation quite a bit, and it's hard to see the national security implications at some points during this conversation. But is it just politicking to say that Governor Abbott is using these people as political pawns when there are a number of charities? I keep bringing this up because there are a lot of people in media who either don't know about this or ignorant to this, or they just have no clue. But we've had a lot of officials on talking about how the NGOs have been doing what Governor Abbott is doing for years. Were they using people as pawns as well?
Well, I think that's the question a lot of people ask, that you're asking, that there's evidence of that being true. You know, go back to the basics. I've always said that border security is national security. And we've known for years now that the border states and the cities in particular are bearing an undue burden in terms of trying to take care of these people, house them, feed them, et cetera. And it's only been the last couple of years when they've been sent to other cities such as New York and Chicago and Los Angeles, where mayors from those cities have realized, wow, this is a burden to handle. So, look, it's a federal responsibility that should not be borne solely by the states, let alone the cities. And so that's why I fault the administration here. For 2 years, particularly when they controlled the House and the Senate, they could have beefed up Customs and Border Protection, provided additional officers, additional funding, anything that it takes to include judges, you name it, to make sure that we could secure the border. And the border is clearly not secure.
I have a question for you that I don't think I've ever heard anybody ask as well. Border apprehensions up to about 10,000 a day, nearly double the numbers we saw in January. Is there a case to be made that Title 42, instead of deterring illegal crossing, actually enticed immigrants to come across?
Well, no, I think that the administration's policies has attracted and enticed immigrants to come across. If you look at the numbers from the government's own website, it's gone up about 1 million people a year over the last 2 fiscal years. So last fiscal year, 2022, the highest ever at 2.5 million people. This year, it's going to be even higher. And you noted that in the last couple of days, we've seen 10,000 people cross a day. There's 150,000 plus people waiting right now on the other side of the border to come across. And if those numbers continue, we'll clearly be in the 3 millions by the end of this fiscal year.
I mean, easily. Just do simple math. Secretary Mayorkas has said that Title 8 has stricter consequences. Title 8 never went away, even when we had Title 42. And the numbers soared long before the pandemic. But how can we prove that in a post-pandemic world that Title 8 is enough to secure our border?
So it's not. It sounds good. That's a great talking point. We all love that it would be tougher. It bars reentry for 5 years, for example. That's what makes it tough. But unlike Title 42, which denied an immigrant the chance to claim asylum and be expelled immediately, Title 8 does not allow that. So you can claim asylum, and then you go through this process. It's unclear. Some people have said whether it's hours, days, or weeks, but I suspect it's going to be the same, where you are released out into the streets, if you will, and told to report back at some later time if you can claim the asylum. So, look, we're going to find out real soon how effective this new policy is that the administration is claiming. But the bottom line is we need a new immigration reform policy, comprehensive immigration reform that's more merit-based. We need to secure the border first, and then we need to provide CBP the resources, the people it needs, to include the judicial system, to make this border effective. Because, look, we have people coming across the border that we really don't know who they are. We've had Chinese come across, Russians, Iranians, people from dozens of countries, and we're not clear who is coming across into our country.
Yeah, and really, if you were still leading the Pentagon, I would hope that you'd have some advice, even in light of just observing it from afar. I mean, never mind the fact that our northern border gets completely ignored in this conversation just because it's not quite as TV ready. We don't see the huge masses, but we still see people creeping across our border unimpeded. What advice would you give to this administration if they would actually listen?
I'd give the advice that I gave and that the Trump administration gave back in 2019, 2020. Fund CBP. Give DHS the resources it needs to do its job. If they had the resources, the officers, you wouldn't need DOD to supplement them. And look, we talk a lot about people, but we can't have this conversation without mentioning fentanyl, which is coming across the border as well, killing upwards of 70, 80,000 Americans a year. It's tragic. So we got to get control of the border. This requires the White House leading and Congress coming together to address this problem once and for all.
Yeah, well, they had to expire Title 42 under the COVID restrictions, but maybe they can come up with some type of law, some new title in terms of the drug crisis that America is seeing every single day. Former Defense Secretary Mark Esper, thank you for being with us.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find News Nation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of News Nation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.